Let's have a review. What is a project charter? The project charter is the first document that you're going to be doing when you're completing a project management plan. Basically, it gives everybody or all of the users or stakeholders a glimpse of the entire project. It tells you what the project is all about. It tells you about the objectives of the project, the resources that it needs, and its limitations. So the project charter is a very important document as I have said, it serves as a roadmap to everything. So it says here in this slide that the project charter is a document issued by the project sponsor or project initiator that formally authorizes the existence of a project and provides the project manager with the authority to apply organizational resources to project activities. So that is your project charter. The project charter template will be discussed later. Now, what are the components of the project charter? When you do the project charter, these are the things that we expect you to write. So the first one is the project purpose. So I don't think that I need to elaborate further on that, but you can research already about the meaning of purpose. So what is the purpose of a project? The second is you give measurable or SMART, specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time-bound project objectives and related success criteria. The success criteria here refers to the metrics or the things that you will be using as a guide, okay, to tell you that okay, when you reach this and when you have this, then this project is considered as a success. Then you also write there your high-level requirements, your project description, the boundaries or the limitations, the key deliverables, the things that you're going to be delivering or providing from this particular project, the overall project risk, the summary milestone schedule or the important dates or the highlights of that gives you the highlights of your activities. Example, July 25. That's when you, let us say you are building a house. That's when you uh, scout for a lot. August 26, you have finalized buying the lot. September 30, you have started or you have completed the plan for the house. So this gives you the highlights of all of the activities leading to the finalization of the project. You don't have to write everything, just the highlights, the important dates. Then you have also here the pre-approved financial resources or the money that you're going to be using, the, the monetary value that you're going to be needing for this project. Then you have the key stakeholder list, the people who serves as stakeholders in your project, the project approval requirements, okay, examples would be what constitutes project success, who decides the project is successful, and who signs off on the project. You also write here the project exit criteria. So example would be what are the conditions to be met in order to close or to cancel the project or the phase. Then you have the assigned project manager. You write it there. Who's your project manager? The responsibility and authority level. Sometimes you don't have to write the responsibility and authority level in a very simple project. And you also write there the name and authority of the sponsor or the other persons authorizing the project charter. Later on, I will give you examples of a project charter of a simple activity that we have or project that some of the students have done in my class. Why simple? Although they have done a lot, I'm not discounting whatever they have done. It's simple because we are not This is not a large-scale project. What I'm going to be asking from you is a project that you can do or you can implement in a day only, not really for series of uh active not require I'm not going to be requiring you to do series of activities or any project that will require you to do or to work for months or weeks just for the implementation process or implementation step. Okay. The second document that you're going to be providing or submitting after this module is the project scope statement. The project scope statement is a description of the project scope, kung ano siya kadako, kung anong coverage niya, its major deliverables, assumptions, and constraints. The project scope statement documents the entire scope, including the project and the product scope. So it describes the project's deliverables in detail. It also provides a common understanding of the project scope among the project stakeholders. It can contain explicit scope exclusions that can assist in managing stakeholder expectations. It enables the project team to perform more detailed planning, guides the team works during execution, and provides the baseline for evaluating whether requests for changes or additional work are contained within or outside the project's boundaries. The degree and the level of detail to which the project scope statement defines the work that will be performed and the work that is excluded can help determine how well the project management team can control the overall project scope. Now, the detailed project scope statement, either directly or by reference to other documents, includes the following items in the next slide. What are the inclusions of your project scope statement? So these are the product scope description, deliverables, acceptance criteria, and project exclusions. Ano ni siya ang product scope description? This particular area or this particular section is not only limited to those projects nga naka-focus on creating products. In fact, tanan nga mga projects should have this particular section in the project scope statement because you have to clearly tell us kung ano na siya ang characteristics ng imong project, ang kung ano da ang brahumo sa imong projects. So, it's quite a repetition of what you have written in your project charter, but it's okay because you can write in detail pagid diri kung ano gidya bala ang imo nga project. The second one is your deliverables. So what are deliverables? These are any unique and verifiable product, result, or capability to perform a service that is required to be produced to complete a process, phase, or project. Example would be, let us say you're gonna be having a concert for a cause as a project. Now, what are your deliverables there? Ano dapat ang i-produce mo na product or service, okay, in order to complete a process, a phase, or a project? Syempre, obviously, ang imudang deliverables are, number one, the concert itself. Number two, the raising of the funds from the concert. Now, there are also other ancillary deliverables, and that includes all the documents and reports that you're gonna be doing para man sa project. So, tanan tadi nga obrahon nga papers in our class, part sa imong project management plan, these are also deliverables. Okay, kung isipon ta nga, okay, these are also documents. So, these deliverables may be described at the summary level or in great detail. The third one is the acceptance criteria. I've said this over and over again. When you're doing a project, you have to clearly define kung ano ang imong basihan that this project is acceptable or has reached a point na successful siya or not. You have to clearly define that, and that's part of your project scope statement. The last one is your project or the project exclusions. Now, from the word exclusions, it means everything nga wala labot sa imo nga project. Why do you need to tell us or tell the readers about the exclusions? Okay, what you do not want to happen is to have stakeholders nga grabe ang expectations from your project. When in fact, base ang imuya nga mga resources kamay lang. So you want to manage their expectations. You don't want to have miscommunication. You don't want them to expect a lot kung hindi man lang mo provide sa imo nga project. So you create your project exclusions. Example, your project is a club fair. Now, in a club fair, there can be many clubs nga pwede mo na pa-intrahon. Let us say, your intention is just actually to create a club fair for the academic clubs. If you don't write there in your project exclusions nga academic clubs lang, if you do not explicitly write it in the product scope description nga academic clubs lang, the non-academic clubs might think nga dala sila. And you don't want nga may ka-create sang confusion ang imo nga project. So you have to clearly define the scope, ang iya nga coverage. So the project exclusion, it says here, it identifies what is excluded from the project, explicitly stating what is out of scope for the project, helps manage stakeholders' expectations, and can reduce scope creep. Although the project charter and the project scope statement are sometimes perceived as containing a certain degree of redundancy, feeling tado ka, pariho lang sila, baka sulit-sulit ang project scope statement kag project charter. Because what I have said when I was discussing about the project charter, sulit ko lang when I was talking about the project scope statement. But if you're trying to look at the difference, you will see that the project charter is somehow general, while the project scope statement is very specific, especially when it comes to kung ano ang iya nga coverage. So they're quite saying the same concept, the same ideas, but ang level of discussion or details of discussion dito sa pihak sa project charter, high-level information. But diri sa project scope statement, it contains a detailed description of the scope components. So I hope that you're able to identify and see the difference between the two, and you're also able to identify the similarity of the two. We proceed now to the next activity. I hope that you have learned a lot about these two documents. We are now in the second learning task of Module 3. Kindly see your Canvas account for instructions. Thank you so much for watching.